Hey guys, welcome to a video on the top 10 authors that are new to me that I want to read in 2023. Again, I'm filming all these videos during Christmas break. I'm a little frazzled looking because I just finished making like 4 batches of cookies and some layered bean dip, all in preparation for New Year's Eve celebrations. First at my husband's dad's house and then at my cousin's house with my side of the family. So lots going on. We're bringing food lots of places tomorrow. Very much looking forward to being done with all the cooking and baking. That being said, let's get into this. I've done this the last few years. I like to list 10 authors that I want to read in the coming year, just to kind of keep tabs and hold myself accountable. These are either authors that are debut authors or they were debut authors. This is their debut novel, or they're authors I've wanted to read for some time and just have not been getting around to it. I have a little bit of a tendency to read what's new and coming out and review books and stuff like that. So just excited to, again, hold myself accountable. I did post a follow-up video for 2022 that was a pretty hit and miss list. I had a couple authors I really loved and then some that I was just not a fan of. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and get into it here. The first book on my I mean, I have the books listed because I have books I want to read by these authors, but the first author listed on the top 10 authors I want to read in 2023, and these are not in order by who I want to read most or anything, they're just in the order that I put them on the list. The first author is E.J. Mellow. E.J. Mellow had a book that was available through Kindle First Reads or Amazon First Reads, and it's Song of the Forever Rains. It's going to be a trilogy. It's the first book in a trilogy, and this is a book about the Thief Kingdom, and apparently the protagonist has a power to slay monsters with her voice or something like that. Sounds very like epic fantasy-ish. So I think it'll be a fun read, and I've had it all year long, and I've been meaning to read it in 2022, but I'm going to go ahead and commit to reading it in 2023. The second author on the list is Ira Levin? I don't know how you say that. But the author of the Stepford Wives. I've been wanting to read the Stepford Wives for a while. I just always have it like hanging out on my I want to read this list, but then I never do. So I'm going to commit to reading that book by Ira Levin. I think that's how you say her name. Okay, third author on the list is Nian Yang. They write The Black Tides of Heaven. It's a series. I think it's like the Tenseret series or something like that. It's an Asian influence series where there's twin siblings living in this magical world, and I believe they're raised by the Tenseret, which is more like a monkish magical society. But one of the twins starts gravitating towards the rebels, which are the machinists, and there's supposed to be this kind of big tension between the twins and how they continue to be loving twins and get torn between these two groups. It just sounded interesting to me. I like Asian influence, like epic fantasy type of things, so we'll see how that one is. All right, the fourth author on the list is Klages, and she's written quite a bit, but I haven't read any of her novels. And the novella I want to read written by her is Passing Strange. It's a novella about 6 women that are called home to a magical San Francisco in the 1940s to attend the World Fair during that time. It just sounds really interesting, and I think it would be a nice quick read. All right, fifth author on this list is a big one for me, and that's Kuang. And they wrote The Poppy War and Babel. I want to read both books, both series. The Poppy War, though, I've had to read for a couple years, and I don't know. I've just never sat down to read it. I actually have it. It's one of the few paper books I have left to read. So I really would like to commit to read that book and potentially that whole series this coming year. And then I also would like to read Babel, too, because I've heard really good things about it. But first, I'm going to get through the whole Poppy War series there. All right, 6th book on the list is another super popular one, 6th author, I should say, and that's Gillian Flynn, who I wanted to read Gone Girl. Gillian Flynn, again, has written a lot of books, but Gone Girl in particular is one that's been very popular that I've had on my list and wanted to read for years. And that's a mystery about a wife who goes missing. Everybody is blaming her husband for her death, and the story goes from there. Seventh author I really want to read on this list is Arkady Martine. This author wrote a memoir called Empire, which is kind of a science fiction adventure. At least that's what it sounds like from the synopsis. I've heard a lot of wonderful things about that series, and again, it's been on my list to read for a while, so I'm excited to read that. Eighth author on my list is a debut author. I actually got this for review, and that's Michelle Min Sterling, and she wrote Camp Zero, which is a post-apocalyptic story. It's like a post-apocalyptic world, and this girl decides to go be a spy at some camp because her mom has been placed by climate change, and they offer to like keep her mom safe if she goes and does this or whatever. So it sounds interesting. It's a debut novel by Michelle Min Sterling, and I think it'll be an interesting read. The ninth author that I want to read is Fonda Lee. Fonda Lee, she wrote like The City of Jade or Jade City or something like that. A different series I really wanted to read last year, but I actually got another review book by her, Untethered Sky, which is about a protagonist whose brother was killed by a manicore. I think in the last video I talked about this book, I said minotaur, but it was a manicore. And she is learning how to like partner with a rock, like the flying eagle bird things, the rocks, to fight the manicores. And so it's supposed to be very much an adventure fantasy. It is a little bit shorter. It's more novella length than full novel length, but I am looking forward to that. And then the last author I have on my list, I'm not sure if this is her debut book or not. I don't think it is, but I've never read this author before, and that's Genna Rose Nethercot. She wrote Thistlefoot is the book I want to read by her. This book is about the Yaga siblings, so Baba Yaga's siblings, who inherit the house of Baba Yaga, and it kind of goes from there. So very like dark fairy tale feel, it sounds like. Yeah, I just think it sounds interesting, and I'm always a sucker for any like Baba Yaga related tales. So those are the 10 authors I'd really like to read in 2023, and the particular books that I would like to start with for those authors. Mainly doing this video to just hold myself accountable, make sure I get through these so I can update on them. I will be doing a video next week on the top 20 books that I want to read in 2023. And again, the list of books will be books that generally they're by authors I've already read, but I just have not gotten a chance to read these additional books by those authors, and I want to really make myself read them. So, all right. Well, I hope that you guys have been having a great start to your 2023, and I will talk to you later. Bye.